Okay, YouTube's up. All right. We're gonna grind through some more linear algebra, I think. Hmm. We're gonna do 2 and 3, I think. Hey, non-wizard. Okay. Now I was trying to do 2 last night, and I was getting really annoyed that uh the order of things within U, sigma, and V seem like you can just, or all you can do is guess and check to figure out the right order. Um, if there's a systematic way of doing it, I don't think the book really said it, or I didn't read it closely enough, which is another strong possibility. But let's just push through this. So we need to find A transpose A. That's A, not A transpose. Good. Now we multiply 5, 3, 3, 5. Um, and so the eigenvalues are sigma I squared. The eigenvectors, unit vectors, are V. So the eigenvalues multiply to 16 and add to 10. So 8 and 2 are the choices. So if lambda 1 is 8, then our first eigenvector is -3, -3, 1, 1. Unit vector, so 1 over root 2. And then if lambda 2 is 2. Oh, that's not a bad psi right there. We're gonna get 1 and -1, but unit vectored up. Okay, and so that means V in some order. So, well, okay, it's not even the order, it's the choice of sign. Like, the negative sign could equally be switched, and I'm pretty sure you actually have to do that, and I don't know how you're supposed to know that besides guessing and checking. Hmm, that's not V. We're going to start with that vector, and then we're going to do the other vector. I did do this last night, I got it slightly wrong, and I just got annoyed and rage quit, so I'm trying to do it right today. And then they provide this formula to find the u's once you know V. So U1 is A 2, 2, -1, 1. V1 divided by sigma 1. Sigma 1 is square root 8. So I'm going to do a few things in my head here. This root 2 can be factored out of the vector. 1 over root 2 can be factored out of the vector, and it multiplies with that root 2 to be a 2. Ooh, my bread is done. Let me check my bread. 1 second. Oh. 1 second. It's getting hot. Okay. Let me show off the thing that I just baked. 1 second. Wait, why is that there? Oh, I know why that's there. Get rid of it though. 1 second. We got bread. The lighting isn't too great for showing it off, but yeah. There you go. It's bread. It's fresh. It's good. Okay. I did turn the oven on, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. Um. Okay, so I was factoring out the 1 over root 2 there. Let's become a 1/4 out front. We're gonna put the 2 by 1 vector. 4 on top, 0 on the bottom. So we just get 1, 0. Yep, I remember that. And now U2, I'm getting vertigo. Was that their song? Yeah, it was, right? Yeah. One minus root 2, or you know what I mean. Minus 1 over root 2. Over root 2. So same thing, factor out the 1 over root 2. So we just get half. Now we get 0 on top and positive 2 on the bottom. So 0, 1. So hopefully this SVD will now work. So we're going to make the claim 2, 2, minus 1, 1 is equal to U, which is 1, 0, 0, 1, just the identity boringly. Root 8, root 2. Times V transpose. And we're going to check this math. Mert, hey Mert. Tau of n over n as n goes to infinity, where tau of n is the number of divisor functions. Huh, or function. One very basic proof, you're trying to find another proof, more analysis. Huh. Let me get this on the screen so people can see it. feel like we were just talking about Talvin the other day or something like it. I don't really know how you would define it. Or like how the function would actually look. It's probably not, you probably don't really have a closed form. Average order of arithmetic functions. I can see in some sense this number being an average, but I'm not sure exactly what that last sentence means. Oh yeah, okay. So being able to bound it would be really helpful. Hey, okie dokie. Great name. We doing well? Yeah, what's up? So let me maybe just understand the basic proof first. We can bound it above. Mert is arguing by 2 root n. That makes sense. Over n. And this would go to 0, right? Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. You want a more analysis-based proof of this. I don't see what's not analysis about this, but something like a little more sophisticated, I guess. Technically, we should establish that 0 is also less than that, but that's pretty simple. Different thing for alpha of n over n, where alpha of n is the number of distinct prime divisors. Shouldn't that have the same upper bound? Or like, I assume alpha is bounded above by tau. Yeah, okay. You're saying the same thing, Mert. Okay. Okay, let me quickly think about Okie Dokie's question, because that'll be a lot quicker than Mert's. This mentions 6.89, 5.79, 1.81. The way you would think about this is you need to be able to have each of these dimensions for your case be greater than the dimensions of the instrument. And so on the first dimension, 6.89 and 8, you're okay. But on the next two, I think you're failing. 5.79 is too big for the 5, and 1.75 is too small for the 1.81. So I think that's just a little bit too small. So like at a minimum, you'd want like, I guess like if I'm rounding up, you want like 7 by 6 by 2, just bringing all these like rounded up, like that could be a decent size or anything bigger. But yeah, if the dimensions need to like individually be greater than it, or else it's going to be like too tight of a fit one way or the other. Like you might not be able to close the door, you might be able to get it in the first place. Like, yeah. The perfect square of 98. You're asking about 8.5, 6.5 by 4. Yeah, that looks good. This case is bigger. Each of these dimensions are bigger than the corresponding ones. And so that I like in real life it can be a little bit harder when things have like a thickness and you want to worry about like the inside dimensions versus the outside or like the shape of things, but just in a vacuum this should work. Yeah. If you want to do 98 squared, I guess the easiest thing is to think of it as 100 minus 2 squared. So you can make it 100 squared minus 2 times 2 times 100 plus 4. So 100,000 minus 400 plus 4. 96,004. I think is what you want. Hey, Kubrick. Oh, nice. Good luck with your physical chem. Okay. Mert wants something more better. Oh, you're asking about the reverse. You're asking about the square root? Famish? No, yeah, 98 has no square root. Hey, Brooke, thanks for saying hi. I appreciate it. Hey, Yash. Yes, okay, Famish, it sounds to me like you were asking the opposite question of 98 squared, but if you want the square root of 98, there is none, yeah. There's no perfect square. Oh, it went well, Yash. Hey, ND Vines. It's good to hear. Oh, nice, Yash. That's lucky. I send a link for a proof. If you put it in the YouTube chat, that won't work. You can put it in the Discord though if you want. So yeah, if there's an outline, how you would deal with that is assuming it's the same like width all around, just subtract the outline off from each of these individually. Oh wait. No, it'd be twice the outline, right? Because if it just looks like a box and there's a 6 millimeter outline, you need to subtract off 6 this way, but also 6 that way. And same for the top and bottom. So I think we'd subtract off 12 from each of these dimensions and then do the same thing that we just did. So I'd call it 164 by 135.1, and then check each of the dimensions individually. Copy isn't working on there. Oh. Oh, I forgot about. Yeah, Discord isn't a thing in Turkey. Um, hmm. If you can tell me what to Google, I can try to find it. But yeah, that's kind of tricky. I don't have another way of like people to. I don't have another way for people to send me stuff. Um, yeah, 8.5, 6.5 by 4. It should have enough wiggle room, even with an outline. Hey, Tree, I'm back. And yeah, I guess for the height, it might not have the outline, so you might not subtract 12 from that, or you might only subtract 6 if the outline's only on the bottom or something. But I think it's basically how you would think about it. Find the greatest common factor, 98 is a perfect square, isn't the problem. Yeah, you can simplify radicals, even if they don't have a perfect square. Oh, that's what they're doing. Okay, you try to solve it first. I see what to do with that, and let me know if you get stuck. That's kind of generally Ash. Like what? I know. I usually just try to keep it about the math, unless there's a reason otherwise. Um. Yeah. Thanks for the question. Okie dokie. Mm, I can't find any links about the one that you're specifically asking about, Mert. No, I'm just a student. I'm I just have a bachelor's. These are more like coding challenges, I think. Oh, it's like a Google Drive link. I really hate doing this, but you could email it to me. You don't have to if you don't want to reveal your email, but I, I do have this publicly facing email account. If you're not comfortable doing that, then it's okay, but I can't think of anything else really. Okay. I don't really like check my email on stream, but you're a cool person, so I'll just do it. Let me see if I agree with you, famished. So yeah, we can definitely take out a 2 and a D in the first step. Let me rewrite the original problem. So if we do that, we'll get 49c squared minus 25, oops, d squared. And now these are both perfect squares here. So we get 7c minus 5d, 7c plus 5d. Is that what you get? Yep, looks good. Let me know once you sent it, Mert, and I'll go and check it. It's a D, but it's very short. It got made fun of growing up. Okay, Jed, it's very sensitive about that. Math is all about precision. Unless you're doing, well, I would say unless you're doing numerical methods, but I guess they care about precision a lot there. Get a bachelor's with such a thing? Uh, I don't know. Like the progression in math is that doing this type of problem is just one small step in a bigger problem. And so, like, the more you do it, the easier it gets. It becomes like pretty routine. Yeah, or it's not really possible to please everyone. I just kind of do when it's convenient for me. Oh, that is very picky. Yeah, it's a little better, but I just that it's not my fault that plus and t are nearly the same thing. Okay, sent it. Okay. Oh my god, you even know the font terms? The serif? Oh, like that little bit there? A little, yeah. Part of the fun of math is trying to decode my uh, handwriting. Did it go to my junk folder, maybe? There it is. Um, your handwriting is very good. Hey, syntax. So is it okay if I show the PDF? I won't show your email, Mert. But is it okay if I show the PDF on the stream? Okay. Let me get that set up then. What do I do to wake up my brain? Usually coffee. Evil question. We're thinking about Mert's question first, but you can be right after if you want. Okay. So but also like it's good to keep the coffee in moderation. I don't like I feel like if you can't survive without coffee, then that's a problem. So I assume that's psi sub n equals m, where m is a natural number, m factorial is the lower greatest factorial. What is lower greatest factorial? Oh, that's not a... If n is 124, then it will be 5 factorial. So 5 factorial... I should just use Wolfram Alpha. Why am I calculating factorials by hand? Come on, go faster. Go faster. I'm clicking on natural language. Go faster. Thank you. If I click more, that'll help, right? 120. Okay, so it's the factorial, it's the closest factorial that is less than it. Okay. So psi sub 124, if you give it 124 as an input, it will give you, I guess, 5 as an output, because 5 factorial is 120. Hey, Lucas. Okay. It's unbounded and increasing. Sure. So we can prove. Let it be bounded above by mu for all natural numbers. Mu is greater than 1 since psi sub 2 is 2. Let n equal ceiling of mu plus 1 factorial. To biology again? Ah. Feel bad. Okay, so you're just going 1 past mu and showing you can always find a number that's greater than mu. Okay, yeah, sure, I buy that. You want to show psi n plus 1 is greater than or equal to psi sub n, monotonically increasing. Factorial is the greatest lower one. Should that be or equal to? I can't really like mark, but like, all right, there's something that should be or equal to. See if sequence is increasing unbounded, the limit goes into infinity. Oh, okay. Just to show that it's going to positive infinity. Then, yeah, I mean, that's not the most essential part to like, I think it's a relatively like simple piece that we can maybe just speed through then. Discriminant? Yeah, R for like in the quadratic formula. So limit of the function is infinity. You want to show for a general a sub n such that a sub n is increasing and unbounded, and a sub n maps natural numbers to natural numbers, or if it's increasing and unbounded, and it's a function of natural numbers to natural numbers, a sub n factorial is greater than a sub n squared after some cutoff point. Prove it by induction. For all s greater than 4, I guess is the cutoff. S factorial is greater than s squared. I assume this isn't the hard part of the proof either. For all our Psi sub n, all conditions are satisfied. Psi sub n is greater than 4. The case is true for all n greater than n. Psi sub 121 equal 5. For all n greater than 121. Psi sub n greater than, if Psi sub n is greater than 4, then Psi sub n factorial is greater than Psi sub n squared. Yep. I guess you're rearranging this inequality to this for a reason that I assume will become clear in a minute. Everything is positive, so that's okay. Let's take the limit as n goes to infinity, since n is greater than 121. Oh, you're squeezing it. Okay. What's up, Tyler? In syntax, I see that. I'll read it after this. This is the end of the PDF here. Now we can show that alpha of n is less than or equal to m, since if alpha of n is greater than or equal to m plus 1, oh, alpha is the one you're talking about before. Alpha is the count of prime divisors. Okay, so alpha of n counts the distinct prime divisors of a given number n. Okay. How do n and m compare? Oh, m is the output of the function. Okay, yeah. Alpha of n is greater than or equal to n plus 1. N is greater than n plus 1 factorial. Okay, and that just won't do. Psi sub n is equal to n plus 1. Daisies. Okay. Oh, thanks. Our error. It's all just a grind with this stuff, so if it'll happen, it'll happen. So alpha of n is bounded between 0 and m, which is also psi sub n. It's a funny question, Tyler. I think I can figure that out. Let me get through this proof, and then I should at least read syntax errors question. Syntax errors might take a little bit longer than yours though, so I might do yours before, but I want to at least like read it and understand it. It's simply facts. Don is my name. Um, yeah, the physics of that I don't think would be that hard. No, okay, cool. Oh, you're being sneaky in this step here. You're concise. Okay, yeah, I can see why this would work because n is greater than or equal to concise of n factorial. Okay. Um, so you're trying to find a similar sequence or bound for tau sub n, or for tau of n. This proof is for alpha. We want a similar argument for tau. Oh, I would probably neglect the air resistance. Seen any symbols on the screen before in your life? Not even the English letters. um, I mean, I'm just kind of come back to your square root idea that you originally put there, Mert. Like, could you make it ceiling 2 root n for your Kasai sub n here? And I assume a lot of stuff would transfer over. I mean, I'm planning to make a lot of simplifying assumptions for that one syntax. Like, we can just worry about 45-degree angle. Like, we can just figure out what velocity at a 45-degree angle gets you a certain horizontal displacement. Learn a language? Probably Spanish, but Japanese would also be tempting. I mean, it probably if I have that free, it's probably better to choose Japanese because it's way harder, right? But I would love to speak Spanish. Um, Initial height. Uh, it would give it. I think the difference in heights would be negligible. It would matter, yeah, but I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. Like the difference between like 1 meter and 2 meters for the scales that we're talking about. I mean, maybe it would, but I feel like it wouldn't. I probably just pretend that it's zero. I'm just kind of guessing that syntax. I don't know. It's 85 miles. Okay, I'm about to go to like Google Earth and make it measure the distance. um, 85.70. Okay, nice. Is that from a movie, by the way? I feel like that's like a freaking I forget the name of the movie. Blazing Saddles or something. I've never actually seen it. But I think there's a lot of jumps in that movie. This would be like my guess is the best thing to investigate is like ceiling two root n. But I'd rather not try to actually go through and prove it for myself though. That sounds annoying. But I feel like I'm not really helping if I'm just guessing what it should look like. Or maybe floor. Um, this proof says a couple of finicky steps I went and found for myself, and I feel like there's going to be a step like that in a proof for tau sub n or tau of n. And I'm not good at spotting those tricky steps. Um, I don't know. I can try and mess around with it, but I'd like to address some of the other questions in the chat too. Because with this one, this is kind of it's a lot. uh, what's syntax's question? Hey Jesu, what are my thoughts on IQ and does it matter? It's a neat statistic. I don't think people should put basically any weight on their individual IQ. I don't really know that much about it, but I just don't feel like it's possible to sum up human intelligence into one number. That's kind of where I'm coming at it from. No fx greater than g of x. Yeah, Jesu, I agree. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's some type of meaning you can get out of it, but it's not. I don't really put very much weight into it. Um, okay, yeah, we know that a function is if f is greater than g, then so are their integrals. Yeah. Stupid notation for evil purposes. Okay. I see the stupid notation is putting the dx first. Oh, like emotional quotient or whatever. At first, I was thinking of like equalizer, like you EQ sound, but I don't think that's it. Can we say if we know? Ooh, that's a fun question. I think the answer is no. The implication doesn't work the other way. Um, if we if the second part is true, then yeah, but the issue with the other direction is that um it's the constant of integration. And so if we don't have extra information about a point for each of these functions, um f of x could have more area under the curve, but as soon as you integrate it, you could just shift g way the hell up there. Like the concept of integration gives you way too much flexibility. Oh, it's definite. Oh, you're right, Slim. Ah, I'm bad at math. Oh, that reminds me. Since there's a good amount of people around here now, I put an announcement in the Discord. There is potential complex analysis reading group starting. If you're interested in being there for it, um, I put out a poll with what time people might want to meet at. So if there's interest in it, I'll host it like I do the general relativity stuff. Oh, there you are, Fembox. I threw it a few times here. But yeah, I settled on a book, and I'd like to get through at least chapter 4, ideally. Um, but yeah, if you want to do complex analysis similar to how I'm doing the general relativity, let me know. Yeah, so I made that command for it. Hey, noob, we doing well? Oops, it's definite. Oh, this feels like is it like intermediate value theorem or whatever? I always get them mixed up, but it feels like I'll use your convention. It does feel like in order for an inequality like that to be true, well, yeah, like uh maybe you want the mean value theorem. We could divide each side by 1 over b minus a. I wonder if that would be helpful. Final names, I'm looking for that complex text. No worries. Oh my god. Um, the Amazon page is gonna say my zip code. Let me. Okay, you know what? I know how I can show this. Talk about the area under the curve. You know, I think that this is a good business strategy. Oh my god. That's a I I respect it. That reminds me of math spellbook. We're talking about math textbooks, you know? Hope you're doing well. It's you know, there's definitely no ulterior motives here. So I textbook mirror costs hundreds of dollars. Yeah. A series of books. Oh my god. Um, ugh, what's happening? Oh my god, it's all the same woman too, in different outfits. That's hilarious. Remember boobs in the textbook? When I mean, me too, Tyler. I feel like I was missing out. Oh, that's hilarious. Um, okay. Wait, oh yeah, I wanted to show can I get good pictures of it? Yeah, weirdest sales strategy for math enthusiasts. I think it's a really good strategy for math enthusiasts. I think math people will be all over that. Did I say hi to Color Cone? If not, then hi. Um, I need to do shout outs too. Oh my gosh. Academy and Math Spellbook. Best part of my day, I made bread. That was pretty cool. Um, yeah, the Moondrop is a brand of IEMs in ear monitors, like earbuds that you put in your ear and listen to music with, and they put waifus on all their boxes, and it's kind of I feel like that's a similar thing where it's really transparent with what they're doing, but it's also just a good business strategy. This is they're not really it's not really like skimpy or anything, so they could be a lot worse. But yeah, the art has nothing to do with the actual like IEMs. And weapons are always a plus, yeah. um that's hilarious though. Going draw on TikTok because the slate is known for being the embodiment of flat-chested confidence, and she went and got fake boobs. Ah, there's nothing wrong with a flat chest. Yeah, that is like selling out though. If you're like all about the confidence, then you go and change yourself. Um, you want to go for the crazy where they get to? They said isolated tornado. What the hell? That's super random. I hope you stay safe. Since people weren't here when I showed it off, I'll show off my bread again. 1 second. Actually, it's probably yeah, it's cool now. So just made some baguettes. Yeah. Oops. Seven hundred 23 miles per hour? You think you perhaps did it completely wrong? Oh no. But some boot insoles once, you didn't pick a designer, things you didn't know was an option. They sent you anime boobs. You stand on boobs all. Oh my god, that's like the mouse pads with boobs on them. But I guess for insoles, that's a weird choice for insoles though, but kind of funny. French people are proud of you. I sure hope. Do they feel like violence? Yeah, how many boobs have you stepped on before, Tyler? We need to know the comparison. Oh. um, make a cooking stream. Actually, on Twitch, I've done pie baking streams, like maybe two of them. Okay, the math that we're doing, um, there's an outstanding problem from Mert about having a more sophisticated proof for this tau of n over n limit, and tau of n counts the divisors of a function. It's a little bit tough, so I put a pin in that, and I'm thinking about syntax errors question down here. What kind of tips, Ali? And then after that, Tyler asked a question that's physics, but Mimi, and I want to answer it. But for syntax's question, I was thinking about the mean value theorem for integrals. The gamma function? The gamma function is like, it's like a factorial, but it works on fractions, most negative numbers. And like, it works on things that aren't just positive integers, basically. I'm talking about mean value theorem integrals. It's not a nice value theorem, it's a mean value theorem. I don't know what link to click on. Exams are on 21 May. These subjects are math and physics. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to that, all you can really do is practice, unfortunately. That it's not very satisfying, but just do practice problems and make sure you check the answer, and or make sure you make sure you try it completely on your own at first, and only check the answer at the end. See you soon, $10. Make it fun. Oh well. The only way I can think of to make math fun is to think about the things you can study later that are actually fun. Like a lot of math that I learned in high school and earlier just was not fun. I just had to grind through it. I don't have a solution for that. Conclusion is true, not for Lebesgue. Interesting. I assume syntax hasn't done Lebesgue integrals, so we can kind of only worry about Riemann. That's the theorem that we want. So we can say there exists some C for F, and we're gonna have to use a different letter for G. Let's say D. Hey, Max loves burgers. I prefer handwriting, but for the sake of the stream, I have a tablet. But like, what is, like, this tells us there is some point where F is greater, oops, where F is greater than G somewhere. Not necessarily in the same spot. Not every day, no. Way to make mathematics a tab into something you like. Once you find that connection between the thing you like and mathematics relationship to it, make it you more curious about it. Play some mathematical ideas. Yeah, definitely the connections are what make math like, or at least they I guess there's more things that can make math cool, but the connections with other things are a way to do that. Your paper addicted is the only way for iPads. I guess so. Yeah. Given an integral has to be true, consider the function f minus g. Integral that function is positive. Find a position such that the lower Riemann sum is positive. Oh, okay, yeah. Because we could even do the mean value theorem. I'll even know I don't stream every day. That would be I would die. Um, no, this isn't homework. These are questions from chat. Uh, like we could do the mean value theorem here again. I don't know if I'm like on the wrong track with trying to use the mean value theorem here, but it feels like this is something like what it will be made for. And this is better because we can use the same point. They don't have to be different points like in my argument. And so this means that at least it doesn't have to be for the entire interval, but you can say there is some interval like f of c is greater than g of c, and I think everything is positive here, or we can pretend everything is positive. I think this would imply that f of x is greater than g of x either on a c, I guess open. Well, we can do or equal to. No, we can do strictly greater. Or on CB. Well, that's not, no. Because there could be multiple places where they dip above and below each other. You can definitely make some type of interval. I don't think you can say, without giving more information about the functions, what that interval is. But I guess you could try to make some type of like, there must exist some type of like neighborhood around C, I guess. Well, I guess like a one-sided neighborhood. Paper, pen, and blackboard chalk addiction is so bad. Just reading syntax's thing. Hmm. Why do you do this to me? All right, see you, Matt Spellbook. Thanks for hanging out. Um, yeah, I don't think there's much farther we can go with this. So it's not that I can tell. I'm pretty bad at this stuff though. I also want to start on Tyler's question. And so we're saying that's 87 miles. With everything in American units. My teacher clicked you with the integration question. Oh, I'm sorry about that, ND Vines. Um, so for Tyler's, because it's just kind of for the memes, we're gonna neglect the height of the ramp and air resistance. The height of the ramp, I don't imagine is very significant anyway. Air resistance, it probably does play a role, but I don't know. I mean, I kind of know about a differential equation, but I don't know exactly how you would deal with it. Yeah, syntax, exactly that. So we're thinking about the car like I guess right as it leaves the ramp. Be a little buggy because I don't want to draw anything else. Why am I putting so much effort into this drawing? It doesn't matter. This doesn't look like a car. I don't know why I gave it an eye. The question is asking for that like velocity there. Um, and so the x and y components are equal. Uh, yeah, right. Okay, we the y position at any time is initial velocity sine 45 degrees times time. Nerduino, hello. I hope you're doing well. Fans interested in space news, Legos, all that type of stuff. Go check them out. Um, yeah, we're gonna account for gravity. That's I I consider there was no gravity. The car would just go flying off into space. That wouldn't go too well. Um, oh, isn't it like 32? What's gravity in the bad units? Um, Wolfram Alpha save me. 9.8 meters per second and miles per miles per hour. What's 32? Is that miles per second or feet per second maybe? Feet? I don't know. 21.9. Times time squared. Then a syntax says the x component is going to be v cosine 45 degrees. Oh, and I guess no, the cosine and sine are important, but they're not the end of the world. So yeah, we're interested in when y equals 0. We're gonna find that time. Wait. Yeah, we know we have the point 87 comma 0. So we can plug that in for x and y. Or ugh. Yeah, you could do it that way too, syntax. I think that's fine. Um so we know that 0 equals, it makes me happy to have the sine and cosine there, so I'm going to keep it. Root 2 over 2 t. We'll have to break it back into components later, but it's the price you pay for being me. And we also know 87 equals root 2 over 2 vt. So we have two equations and two unknowns. And we're really only interested in the velocity, I guess. That's what the question is about. So let's use the second equation to say that t is equal to 87 root 2 over v, and plug it in up here. Root 2 over 2 v, 87 root 2 over v. Oh, that's convenient. 21.9 over 2. 87 squared. That's less than convenient. What's happening here? The 87, that's just 87. I'm doing that right, yeah. 21.9 times 87 squared over v squared. So an 87 cancels, thankfully. And say that 1 equals 21.9 times 87 over v squared. And so v is going to be root 21.9 times 87, which is a job for a calculator. It's 87. Do the units check out on that? That can't be. Oh, wait. What? That seems a little low. But what did I goof? Okay, so there's like a whole like series of them. I wonder if they're like legitimately like like or like how good the books actually are. Like it has me like a little bit like curious. Um, did I accidentally measure something in seconds or something? Does 21 wait 9.8. Oh, it's meters per second squared. Is that what messed up the conversion? And miles per hour squared. That does. Yeah, I think I need to use this gigantic number. Oh, it's 32 feet per second. Okay, that's what I was thinking. That's the 32. 78919. 78919. 78919. What was the? That was 21.9. 78919. 78919. 78919. 78919. Okay. Rapolo, you have a mathematics and statistics exam tomorrow? Well, good luck with it. 78919 times 87. Square root 78919 times 87. That 2,600 miles per hour. Do I suffer from analysis paralysis? Sometimes, yeah. What is the escape? That's a good question. Escape velocity from Earth. 25,000 miles per hour. So we're safe. T-test and chi-square test. The chi-square I'm a little rusty on. The t-test I remember better. If you want, you can just try me with the question. That's a good question, Ellie, for how to overcome analysis paralysis. At some point, you just kind of, if you need to flip a coin or something, you just force yourself to make a decision and be okay with dealing with the consequences. Like, you can't always make the right choice. But it's better to make a choice than to make no choice. Type it there in chat or put it in my Discord. I'm not sure if Tyler's still here, but I guess that's our answer. What's the X component of that? Yeah, it's no problem. 1,800 miles per hour in the X direction. Yeah, you know, like that's how fast I go when I merge onto the freeway. It's no problem. No, when I merge onto the freeway, I'm stuck behind someone who thinks it's okay to merge at 45 miles an hour. I mean, I guess you could call it gambling and hoping for the best, yeah, but analysis paralysis makes it hard to make any decision at all, and it's better to just choose one than to not make a decision. Okay, so earlier Mert did ask this question, and I just don't quite know what to do with it still. I might just need to call it quits on that one. It's always gambling. The best ideas come during the shower. Yeah. Always asking me to introduce myself. Uh, there's not too much to it. My name is Don. I got a bachelor's in applied math, minor in computer science. Been doing the stream for 2 years and a few months. I dual stream it to Twitch and YouTube. I consider Twitch my primary platform. YouTube is more just I do it because it doesn't hurt. The chat that's up there is only the Twitch chat. At some point soon, I'm gonna make it both chats. But if you're talking to someone who's not there, then that's why. Yeah, I definitely am on the applied math side of things. Range of a projectile. Yeah, number of divisors is what tau counts. Um, and so we were looking earlier at a proof that Mert either wrote or found that there's a Smurf function alpha of n that counts unique prime divisors of a number. And you can prove that the limit as n goes to infinity of alpha n over n is 0 by finding a clever function to squeeze it with. And Mert is asking for another clever function to squeeze tau with, basically. And that's where I don't really know. Leonardo DuPont, how do you find the maximum minimum of a function of two variables? You need partial derivatives for that. I'm going to refer you to my buddy Paul. Basically, you need to find the partial with respect to x, partial with respect to y, find where they both equal 0, and that's a critical point, just like you have critical points in like single variable. And then if you want to classify it, you need to look at the second derivatives, and that gets a little like trickier, but this site kind of explains it all. Tracing a neat asymptotic function. All right, thank you, syntax. How much math is involved in computer science? I would say some. I would say it's maybe 50% math, 50% just kind of critical thinking analysis ability is my very rough estimate. So if I'm saying I could use this Rapolo, I'll take a look at it in a minute. I could use this function to check my answer. We should expect 87. 2620 we're calling it. What was the... Okay, so I need to keep 78919. That's gravity. 2620 divided by that. Times square root 2 over 2. Parentheses. 2620 times square root 2 over 2. Oh. You're right. Thank you. Sine of 90 is 1. Okay, that's good. V squared over G. What am I doing? 2620 squared over 7, 8, 9. About 87. All right. Average amount of factors till n is asymptotic to ln of n. Huh. A smart kid from birth, or did I acquire this skill? Math is a passion, yeah. I just kind of fell into it. Um, I thought I was a smart kid, and then I uh, had an experience where I realized that I wasn't, and so I humbled up. So I don't feel like I'm the smart kid, or if I'm smart relative to some people and very dumb relative to others, and strictly speaking about math skills, because there's many dimensions people can be smart in. Um, Basically, it's kind of hard to explain the whole question. Mert wants to emulate this proof we were looking at before, but we this proof is for alpha of n, which is slightly different. Mert wants to emulate this proof for tau of n, but we need to find a new Kasai to name. Ayush, I don't know competition questions. Okay, Rupolo did post something. Rupolo, you got to tell me which one you want to see. I'm not doing all these. I can pick anyone. Well, I don't know which one is going to help you to see, but I'll like you choose one. I'm going to insist on that. Or if you tell me to pick one, I'm just going to pick the first one. How about that? If you object to that, then speak now. Oh, good, $10. 10th? Okay. Um, heights of 10 adult males selected at random from a given locality. At a mean of 158 cm, variance of 39.0625 cm. Do you verify that experimentally? I'm sure Fenbox did. Okay, so what the hell? How are we supposed to know that? Oh, Tyler, we worked out your question. Um, hey, Jithan. Hope you're doing well. Um, so Tyler, we worked it out. The answer is I didn't actually write it here. It's about 2,620 miles per hour. And we did check the escape velocity for Earth is like 25,000 miles per hour. So we're still good. We're not flying off into space. You do that on your hobby. I bet. Are you just supposed to know what the mean height of people are, or like how do they wait? Okay, so I hope there's some information. So the issue is the question doesn't tell us what the null should be. The null is whatever people believe it to be, and they don't tell us what people believe it to be. That's very weird. We don't have any way from the statement of the question to figure out that it should be 162 and a half. I think this question is bad, but there should be some statement like it is commonly believed that the average, or I guess mean, it doesn't matter, the same thing, height of adult males is 162.5 cm. Like there needs to be a sentence like that. So this isn't really possible. But the null is always equal for this type of stuff. And so you would say it's always equal to whatever people think it is. The alternative, this is bad for multiple reasons. So the alternative hypothesis, you have it's not mu, no, I'm sorry, just mu. You have three options. You can say greater than, less than, or not equal to. And we got something that is less than the mean that everyone thinks it is. And so you could choose either less than 162.5, but you could equally as validly have chosen not equal to. And the question needs to say that. Or the question needs to be more specific. So we can. This isn't a very. They don't give you all the information that you need for 10A, to be honest. Is 10B any better? And maybe there's some convention for this test that I'm just not aware of. But at least for the way that I was taught stats, this question is very vague. I want advanced math from scratch. My school taught you nothing except just remembering sums. Yeah, so there's things like I OpenStax.org has free textbooks. And so if you want like a reference, like you can start with like if you only know sums, you probably want like developmental math. Start with like elementary algebra 2E and like work your way up. If you want something that's a little more interactive, I don't know if they'll have one for, well, no, it's probably my top suggestion, I think. There might be some like lectures on YouTube. I don't know of one specifically for like this sort of algebra though, unfortunately. Yeah, I think OpenStack is a good call. Um, it, it is zero. Mert has this very simple proof using squeeze theorem. Oh no, it's all stretchy. You can bound tau above by 2 root n and do a squeeze theorem. So it should be zero. Mert is asking for a different method of doing that limit though. Alpha, I'm not sure what you mean by this one. How to keep my interest in math? A cooler proof, specifically one that mimics one we were looking at before. Immer, if it's okay for me to post it, I could post the PDF in the Discord so people can take a closer look at it. Okay for you? Okay. So I'll post the proof that question from Mert. Sorry, I will do 10B here in a second. I just want to get this posted. Why is that all stretchy? Dude, why is OBS doing this? Can we prove a similar proof to the attached with tau of n over n as n goes to infinity, where tau... Oh, no! What? I hit enter. Then counts the number of divisors of n. Can be proved with squeeze theorem if you found tau above by 2 square root n, but Mert is looking for something similar to the attached, which proves the limit alpha of n counts unique prime divisors. I think that's the heart of the question. I hope, Mert. Asymptotic method is a no-go? I don't think so. Lower greatest factorial is it's the factorial that's closest to it without going over. So if you have 124, the nearest factorial is 5 factorial is 120. So 120 is the closest. Yeah, you see? Okay. Alpha, sorry, I'm trying to keep up with chat, and then we'll get to 10B. Oh yeah, Alpha. I'm pretty terrible with GE questions. I'm sorry. No. In Mathysics, I'm saying that wrong. There isn't a question that's too easy. I will literally do 2 plus 2 if people want me to see that. That question to me is very difficult though when I don't know how to do it. I realize in other countries that's high school math. I was never taught to do questions like that. So Alpha, I still don't know how to do your question, so I'm sorry. But math physics, you have me all wrong. No, I welcome in Alpha. It's nice to have you. Um, so for B, local telephone company claims the average length of the phone call is 8 minutes. Sample of 18 phone calls. Hey Jasu, welcome back. Okay, B is a lot more clear at least. Sounds good, math physics. Good luck with your studying. Stats isn't my favorite, but it gets a bad rap. It's cooler than people think, I think. Like I said, I can definitely say it's important. I have intercourse underscore French. Hey, hello? What a username. Okay, so the null is thank you for the follow. Okay, I feel like you can argue your PhDs in like 20 different things, Jasu. Pretty huge. Oh my god, that actually does stand for PhD. Wow. No worries, Chitin. I'm glad it helps. So the null here is whatever the phone company claims it is. That's what people kind of think. So we're saying that's why the average is equal to 8. If we're trying to disprove it, we don't care if it's higher or lower. So the alternative is going to be not equal because they don't really. They would have to say greater than or less than somewhere in the question to make me do anything except for not equal. Um, and so I assume they want us to carry out the actual t-test here. Uh, and this is where I'm going to need to Google a few things because I believe that if I remember off the top of my head, the t-statistic is x hat, the sample mean, minus the null hypothesis mean, divided by standard deviation, sample standard deviation, so S, over square root sample size. But let me verify that. Oh, look at me go. My memory works. Okay, so let's find our sample statistic. Let me show the equation, or let me 7.8 minus 8 over 0.5 divided by square root 18. So we're going to plug that into a calculator. I'm doing this by hand. Graphing calculators tend to be able to, like, you just tell them You can just like give them all the information that I just put into that formula, and it'll do all this for you. But I'll do this by hand. I am from California, and I am a Fallout fan. Yeah. Hey, MMD. Okay, and so this is our t value. Um, and so over on the t distribution, it looks like a bell curve, but it's a bit flatter depending on the sample size. We're doing a not equal to, and so that means we're interested in our alpha value is 0.05. So we're interested in this 2.5% or this 2.5%. That's where we would reject the null. If we get a t sample in either of those zones, we have a negative, so we're only gonna be worried about the left side. Is it minus? I'm gonna round it to 1.7. Kleppner book? What type of physics is that? And so now we need a t-table. Non-inertial and fictitious forces. Oh god, yeah, good luck with that. So we have 17 degrees of freedom because it's sample size -1. Do you know me? I have intercourse French. I don't. What? I don't remember any French people, but maybe that's just a name. You're not French. Okay. What's your first name? If you don't mind saying. The whole name. Yeah. Clearly doesn't have intercourse. Clearly not French. Jake. Sounds kind of familiar. Wait, from State Farm? That wait, like you made that joke a lot, right? Are you that Jake? Or like you dressed up like Jake from State Farm one year? Oh my god, dude. Yeah. What the hell? Yeah, no, that HPU, dude. You made your username. I have intercourse French. Dude, I hope you're doing well. That's so funny. You just randomly found me? I was wondering how, like, how do you know all that? But, I guess that's how. That's gonna be French kisses. It's good to hear, dude. Muhammad, that's most commonly true. Yeah, I'm doing well. I've been doing this stream for a little over 2 years now. It's just kind of like a hobby. I was working in an ops job before that, but I burnt out on it, and it's been kind of thing I've been doing in the downtime. But yeah, and then in the fall I'm starting on a master's in applied math. I'm pretending to be full time. Yeah, I'm not really earning a living or anything, but I just really enjoy it, and yeah, I'm just in a position in life where I can just do it and see where it goes. Yeah, that's crazy. It's just I looked completely different in college too. I didn't have the beard and I had very long hair that I regret. That's crazy that you like recognize me. Jithan, I don't know what why is that important to you, Jithan? Um, what's up with this stats table? We're doing a two-tailed test. We have 17 degrees of freedom. We're at the 0.05 alpha level. 2.1. So I think we're gonna fail to reject here because we got minus 1.7. We should get like minus 2.11 or greater. My first name is public. I haven't said my last name. Do I have you on anything like LinkedIn or anything? No worries, shit, then it's all good. Uh, you don't think we are? Okay. Wait, I might see you. I think I see you on LinkedIn right now. I think we do have each other. But yeah, no. Yeah, dude, it'd be awesome to hear what you're doing now. That's so funny. That's the first time someone's just popped into the stream and known me in real life. I've told like friends about the stream, but like just like a random person. Yeah, it was. It's like, why does this person know so much? Kaggle? I've never heard of Kaggle. Yes, it sounds good. I hope work goes well. It's one of those random things. It's awesome though. Uh, sorry, I'm just like amazed that we that just happened. What's going on in with syntax and Jasu. You need to look like Owl from Sekiro. Hell yeah, dude. Okay. Um. Okay. So my golden retriever. What is the SQ plus log 10 bit? Um. I believe we're failing to reject here because we would need, because we just found out that the cutoff points here are minus 2.11 and plus 2.11, and we only got minus 1.7, so we're somewhere around here. Oh, squared. Okay. Is that log base 10 of x then, or what's the second piece? Um, so we're gonna fail to reject the null. I graduated. That's a good question. I graduated. Uh, why can't I remember this? I was 21 years old, so that's 7 years ago. Did that maybe 2018? You were 2016? I thought we had more overlap than that, though. That can't be right. Um, I should. Oh, you know what? I have a way that I can know for sure. I have my transcript somewhere. No, it was 2018. That's when I graduated. Dude, I could have sworn we had more overlap than that. Because I that would have been only like 1 year or something. Stensrud? What is that? Your name? Wait, your name where? I don't see a sten or like your actual name? Or I don't know what Stensrud. I don't think. Okay, so I'm sorry. Ropolo, the person who asked the question originally, I'm sorry that the explanation was so fragmented. If you are still here, let me know if you have any questions about that. Otherwise, I'm gonna move on. 2 minutes, I've done a t-test. Um, thank you, MMD, for clarifying what the question is. Um, my golden retriever Krish is asking for the derivative of sine of x squared plus log base 10 of x. Um, oh wait, square root? No, x squared. No. Okay. This is I hope this is the right question. But if we want to take the derivative of this, let's start with the sine of x squared. So we need to use the chain rule for that. So let's start from the outside. So sine goes to cosine, then just leave the inside alone. Now we take the derivative of the inside. X squared goes to 2x. And that's the first piece. Then you need the derivative of log base 10, which I don't remember the formula for that offhand. But I do know that with the change of base formula, that log base 10 is the same thing as ln x over ln 10. And ln x I do know the derivative of. Ln x it goes to 1 over x divided by ln 10. And so that's pretty much, oh, sorry. That's pretty much the answer there. We can just rearrange it a bit to make it look nicer. Yeah, I'd say that's what the answer is. Oh, yeah. Um, I wrote it like that because of how I do the chain rule. So when I do the chain rule, I start from the outside function and I only think about the inside after. But I do prefer writing 2x in front. Animedits or whatever. I don't know what you're saying. You can also just say it once and not 5 times or 4 times or whatever. Oh, yeah, I don't think we need that fact for that question, animedits. Or if that is, sorry. I don't know what the actual decimal is. Okay. Hey, Anders. Woo. Okay, I think we're at a pausing point where we don't have a question. We might do some go back to the linear algebra we were doing at the start of the stream. I think it's ln of 10, which is probably about right. Um, you always confused on a second about chains. When you always think it's similar to Zorn's lemma's chains, like chain roller. Matrix groups, SU event. I don't know what those are either. Hey, 750. If you select a parent number and the output is purple, how many waffles are you going to yes? 3. Hope you're doing well. On chain roll, okay. Okay, so the start stream I was learning about 20 line, SPD. To use more in chem than maths. Oh, interesting. And I think I found the SVD for that matrix there. I never actually multiplied it out to check it though. So let's do that. That times that is 2. That times that is 2. That times that is -1. That times that is 1. Nice. Tree falls on a forest, everybody's around to hear it. At what speed does the squirrel get slingshotted into the ground? 2,620 miles per hour. It's always the answer. Oh, this one is kind of sneaky famous. Hey Matthew, how's it going? I caught a tiny bit of that Riemann hypothesis stream that you did, and it looked interesting, but I didn't have much time to stick around. But I hope you stream some more if you enjoyed it. Yeah, this one is tricky for sure. Maximum hopefully putting speed I can achieve. It's not standard for squirrels. Yeah, squirrels use metric. So yeah, to factor this, I'm not a big fan of this question. You kind of have to play with it. I'd start by factoring the -1 out from that part. And the thing you have to notice about this is that it factors into a perfect square. And now you have the difference of two squares, like your I mean, it looks weird, but this is the difference of two squares. It's no different than any other one that you've seen. So you have x minus y plus 3. Remember these parentheses, they're very important. And x plus y plus 3. And so that's pretty much the answer there. We can clean it up a bit by getting rid of the parentheses. But I'd say this is our answer. Too technical to interest anyone if I stream it again, be on simpler stuff. Fair enough. I think you also got to stick with it. I think there will be people who will be interested to hear about it, if they can't quite understand it all. But it can definitely take time to build an audience, even for simpler stuff. So. You think ChatGPT is broken? Why is that? Um, Where did the -1 come from? Uh, like this -1 here? All these have negative signs, and that's like being multiplied by -1. So you can factor that out. But if there's a -1 somewhere else, I'm not sure which one you mean. And edits, you can pose a question, yeah. Oh, God. I think ChatGPT is functioning perfectly well. It's a little bit hard for me to show it on stream, but in the Discord, since he posted a video of ChatGPT freaking out. Um, I'm doing this question just because famous edits asked it, Matthew. Usually that's kind of like the theme of the stream. If someone asks me a question, I'll do my best to answer it. Um, but yeah, in the downtime, I've been doing some linear algebra studying. And so I just found the SVD for A, and then problem 3 is related to problem 2. So what does that say? AA transpose is diagonal. It's eigenvectors U1, U2. Do we already know those from somewhere in problem 3 or in problem 2? Yeah, we do. It's those. Just the identity. ChatGPT copying in Discord PFP reactions. 2 and 8. Question 3 is kind of lame. Yeah, there's definitely overlap with the factoring types of questions and combinatorics and number theory and all that. So solve optimization problems and variant by orthogonal base change. Yeah, it seems like I haven't learned any of its applications yet, but it seems like it could be a helpful thing. Was they orthogonal, but they're not. Oh, maybe they're not normal, and that's why the columns aren't orthogonal. Okay, I assume that's. I want to check that for number 3 though. What is this from? 7.2? Really? Oh yeah, okay. Oh, okay, orthonormal. Okay. Um, Animedits. Oh god, is that gonna be those super weird polynomial questions? I'm gonna be honest, there's a good chance I probably can do it. There might be someone in chat there who wants to talk about it. But there's a I feel like for those types of questions I just normally can't do them. Um this book is this. It's honestly it's kinda it's not amazing, but it's not bad. I've been trying to relearn the linear algebra that I've forgotten. And so already knowing a lot of this stuff, it's a nice reference, but it seems like it has a lot of typos in it, to be honest. Yeah, it's just some self-studying that I'm doing. No, I graduated university years ago. Hey, Sickburn. Is there an interesting one from here? Instant? I don't think I've heard of that one. Six was boring. Seven might be interesting. No, I just have a bachelor's. Quadratic forms for like are talking about like X transpose some positive definite matrix. I think they use S. And like you get or you get like x squared plus xy plus y squared in some way, right? Roman's book? Okay. I don't think I've heard of polar decomposition. So we're starting with A transpose AV sigma squared V. Looks like they left multiply each side by A. Um, oh, okay. So V is an eigenvector of A transpose A. I'm picking up what they're putting down now. Then AV is an eigenvector of AA transpose. That's all they want there. It's not that hard. I was doing a lot of the quadratic form ones before, to be honest. I'm a little bit sick of them. Doing linear algebra only through the prism of matrices and the string has always looked weird to me. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, it seems like the stepping off point after you get introduced to linear algebra is to think about more than just matrices and vectors. But, or so that's my impression, having not studied anything beyond an introductory linear algebra. But as far as I know, these vectors can be like anything, not just strings of numbers. Like they could be like functions, like sine and cosine and stuff. Um, my plan originally was to go into a more advanced linear algebra textbook after remembering the stuff that I've forgotten. But I'm after I do this for another like week or two, I'm going to switch gears into complex analysis. I think because that's going to be urgent for me to learn. But yeah, no, I'm not crazy about this book. It's good enough, but it's I don't think it's like amazing. I guess only matrices, determinants. I mean, yeah, this is focused on matrices. They use determinants a bit, but usually they avoid them. To be honest. Hey, Kikado. What's else in Fourier? I'm not sure if we're going to be touching. We might get to Fourier. I'm not sure. Oh, Spectry over on the YouTube side. They do have a MATLAB reference there. Yeah. Yeah, that does seem like orthogonal. We were talking about MMD. Kikado, yeah, this is linear algebra. You haven't seen it before. It probably looks very confusing. We're to about singular value decomposition. Um, the author of this book does talk about MATLAB a lot and how numerically they do things. And yeah, we're talking about Fourier transformations because I'm planning to get into complex analysis soon. So we might touch on those, but I'm not sure. All right, see you at MMD. Sleep well. Going on patrol here. Nice, nice. Thank you. For instance, all the stuff they ask about SVD can easily be understood through polar decomposition. A lot of students don't understand it with matrices, but rather endomorphisms. Really? I wonder if do they? Maybe it'd be in the geometry part. Because at least it. Oh yeah, I guess this is where they talk about it. In the lectures that Strang gives in the MIT Open Courseware stuff, he does not touch on this. So I don't know anything about polar decomposition. We could read about it now, I guess, a little bit. I don't know if I'll be able to. I usually like trying to learn things on stream though. Ooh, that's kind of. I feel like the people don't usually make probability questions with that subject, but that looks like a geometric distribution. Animetics. Ah. Let me get this somewhere else. Where's their free space? Oh my god, we've done so much math today. Um, 3 successful. Oh no, that's not geometric. Uh, oh, that's annoying. This goes off to infinity. Man, okay, I thought this would be simpler than it is. So, hmm. Oh, Jess, you want to think about the inverse? That might be, well, it's weird because we're like doing it, it's like we're bounding it. No, I don't think we're going to require consecutive. I think just total. What's binomial distribution again? I'm floundering. Binomial distribution. Oh, okay, no, I got it right. But wait, we want two. Exactly two. So we don't need a summation. Okay, so what I'm doing here is we're always ending on a hit because once we've gotten the third hit, we're not going to fire any more missiles. There's no point. So really, uh, if we already know what the last outcome is, with a 0.75 probability, then the first two hits could be anywhere before that last hit. So we need to use the binomial distribution to figure out that probability. And so if we have n total trials, the two hits happen in the first n minus one trials, and then the nth is the final hit. And so The tricky part now is we want to keep uh increasing n until we get above the 0.95 mark for the total probability. Fucking my brain out, dude. Yeah, probability is hard. I think I'm not crazy with this. So I don't know how we would do this by hand, but I might cheat and use Wolfram Alpha just to get an answer. And maybe we can reverse engineer it. Let's say n equals 5. Just a person in the YouTube chat. Uh, I don't know any of the context. Oh wait, do I need a summation? No, I don't think I do. Why these are so low though? It's getting lower. I would expect it to get higher, I thought. 1 minus that? Why are we doing 1 minus that? Does it have to do with how the probability is given? Oh, I guess it would get less likely. Like, you might be right, Jasu. Or, like, it might be something like that. I'm just, probability is hard. Because the thing that, like, this thing is decreasing per n, and that makes sense when I think about it. But I thought it would minimum number of missiles. Yeah, I think you do need to reverse this in some way. You might take my thing. Like, is the inverse event only 2 hits? Or like that's what I get confused on. I think you take my thing and make it less than 0.05. Oops, it's not 5. But like it's weird. Like as n increases, I want my probability to increase. This makes no sense that I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. Back to binomials. Nice. If I did that, where does it hit the 0.05 mark? It shouldn't be that many. It already hits it at 3. Okay, so that's my formula can't be right. Fair enough, famished. I'm gonna be honest, because I think I'm just gonna Google this. I'm losing optimism for being able to solve this. Open book? Oh, nice. Rate of speed, does shampoo burn when it contacts your eye? Questions show instantly? That's true. It feels like a PDF, but it might be a CDF. Jesse, wouldn't one minus that be 0, 1, 2, or 3, not just 3? That's what I get. That's where I get confused with the inverse. This might be what they're doing here, though. Yeah, I don't know. I can drop the link in the YouTube chat there, but uh, I can feel my brain getting stupid right now. Yeah, I'm sorry. That one's just it's really weird. I'm not used to doing probability questions where you're trying to find some like minimum for a cutoff point like that. Um, yeah, I think that's the best I got for you for that question, unfortunately. Um, polynomial over an exponential? Okay. I think that's what the website that I saw. It was like 4 to the n over 10 equals some quadratic. Your approach was flawed? Okay. But, I mean, I don't think it's at least 3 successful hits, Territar, because you stop on the third hit. I think that's exactly what the website that I was looking at has, Fembox. They somehow found that n equals 6. Or n should be greater than, like, 6 is the cutoff point. Yeah, I don't know how you solve that by hand. Um, I'm from America, and I it's a high school problem. Yeah, other countries they teach very different things in high school. So even though it's high school level for you, that doesn't mean it's easy for me. Oh, nice, famished. Uh, that's gonna work because I don't think any of those are Pythagorean triplets. I feel like I can probably figure that one out though. I think you just do Pythagorean theorem. We should know that x squared plus x plus 1 squared equals x plus 2 squared and solve that for x. Well, that's not good. Oh no, because I did that wrong. So we just take the positive solution, x equals 3. Yeah, I mean, okay, that's what I thought. It should be 3, 4, 5, but that's not any of the options. The answer should be 3, 4, 5, and none of the options reflect that. I think the question, there's an error in the question. I imagine most of those aren't even possible side lengths for a right triangle. No worries, Student Academy, but if you're good with Pythagorean triples, you can just know that 3, 4, 5 is a triple that fits this format. If x equals 3, then you'll get 4 and 5, and that's a triple. Or if you're not sure, you can do what I did down there and set up that equation and solve it for x. Oh yeah, famished. 2,000 for a semester is pretty freaking good. Especially if it's for like a 4-year degree, like a bachelor's rather than like an associate's. Yeah, no worries, student. If you're something wrong, this is definitely the answer. Um, I bet most of these can't make a valid right triangle. No worries. I do think I want to wrap things up though. My voice is steadily declining. Uh, and so I don't want to push it. So I think we're gonna call it there for the day. Point burst would give freelance work a try. Fair enough. Okay. On Twitch, we're gonna look for a raid. On YouTube, we're just gonna cut things off. So, anyways, here on YouTube, thanks for being here. We'll be back in 2 days on YouTube. So, goodbye, YouTube. Sorry, anim edits, but I'm calling it. Thank you, Mathizix.